It's that time of the year again, and Halloween is right around the corner. So today it's time to get ourselves into the Halloween spirit and dive into the world of horror and Halloween themed mods. I will be including both free and premium mods in this one due to some of the premium mods actually being a lot of fun, but I will clearly state when the mod is premium. All mods can be played cross-platform, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Kicking things off at number 10, we have Night of the Dead, which comes from Obsidian Labs, stated to be the ultimate Halloween-themed mod for ARK Survival Ascended in its mod description. It is a free mod that transforms your game with an immersive array of eerie atmospheric items. Whether you're decorating a haunted forest, an abandoned mansion, or a cursed village, Night of the Dead is packed with chilling visuals and unique decor to set the perfect Halloween scene. Most of the items are purely cosmetic that range from skulls, candles, pumpkins, coffins, mummies, even a variety of haunted-looking trees. But there are a couple of structures with some functionality too. Death may be a common occurrence while out exploring at this time of the year, so what better way than to respawn back in with your new battered bed? Maybe you need to cook up some food or brew up some concoctions with the witch's cooking pot or from the gathering pit. Or maybe you just want to rock out to some spooky Halloween-themed tunes while tinkering around your base. The Phantom Piano has you covered with a nice selection of tracks. All items from the mods can be crafted from the Grimoire of Shadows, which just acts as a crafted station for the mod. I think my favourite decorative item of this mod, which is probably the least spookiest, has to be the Haunted Balloons, a perfect way to decorate your base. MSVV Halloween from Deckard, Trickster, and Shinigami is a premium mod that adds a bunch of Halloween props for you to place around your base. It will set you back a sum of $5 The mod will give your base a very nice spooky feel and does have its own versions of numerous vanilla crafting stations, storage containers, cookers, forges, and many other structures. The structures definitely add some cool cosmetic value to any horror-themed base. This does also include a variety of decorative structures and items that will give that spooky Halloween feel to any gaff, as my mate Ras Clark would say. Not only does it add spooky versions of vanilla structures, but it also adds its own crafting stations and structures with functionality, including a potion maker machine where you can craft up some creepy concoctions that come in the form of potions that inflict all kinds of status effects to targets. Probably the coolest feature of the mod would be the witch's hut, which can be placed down directly onto the ground or on foundations. Heading inside might see you running into a jump scare or two, as the witch is always ready to terrorize any unsuspecting survivors. There is also a prefab version of the hut that allows you to transform it into a cozy little cabin of your own. No foundations needed if you choose to, and vanilla and structures from the mod can all be placed down directly onto the floor. I did want to mention that the hut can accidentally and easily be picked up. There were times where I placed structures inside, went to open the door using E, and the whole hut and everything inside got instantly picked up and went directly into my inventory. So yeah, that does need to have a lengthier timer, similar to when you demolish or pick up a tree platform. Other than that, it's a pretty cool Halloween themed mod. Coming in at number 8, we have Spooky Halloween Decor Skins from Sandy00, which is a free mod that will give a variety of your structures a spooky makeover. This one is a custom cosmetic mod, so does not need to be installed on your server or added to your single player games. Once installed, will show up in your cosmetics section when accessing your inventory, in the item cosmetics. The easiest way is just to drag it onto your hotbar and go to town. Here's a little glimpse of some of the items you can skin with this mod. The Reaper statue for small storage boxes, haunted trees to transform a wind turbine, a coffin with a body for a compost bin and simple bed, brew up some remedies in your new cooking pot with the witch's bowl, campfires will be transformed into a lit up pumpkin, turning walls into a brick fence, railings into a rope fence, or maybe you just need to take a seat on your new rustic bench. The decor box can also be skinned with a number of different zombie and skeleton variants, and also this peculiar looking ghost scene. Almost all skins can be customized when accessing the structure's radial menu. This includes a choice of different variants of spooky structure or scaling the size of the structures, small or big, or rotating if needed. All is possible with these lovely custom cosmetics. In at number 7 is Survive the Night, which comes from a team of modders that I do believe are tied to the Blue Isle Studios, which is an established video game developer. I have never played any of those games, but it showed promise seeing a team like this dive into ARK mods, which yes, is a premium one at that, priced at $10. It was actually one of the first premium mods to enter ARK Survival Ascended, which really was the turn of the tide, you could say. I personally love checking out premium mods, but it's no secret that a lot of them out there are not up to par, and probably can can't even be classed as premium. But anyway, it transforms ARK into a thrilling and terrifying zombie horde survival experience, taking place on its own map known as Obsidian Isle, a dark, mysterious and deadly world, where players must scavenge for resources, build fortifications and craft weapons and supplies to repel the zombie threat. The zombies in this mod come in the form of creatures and dinosaurs, which appear docile in the daytime but become highly aggressive at nighttime. Every 5th in-game night, a blood moon will appear, summoning a relentless horde of dinosaur zombies, which you'll have to hold out against until daylight the following morning. Not only will you have to deal with zombie creatures, but also the terrifying Stalker, which appears rarely and usually from afar, but can ensnare victims when close. You'll need to search abandoned encampments and lab-like structures to search for better loot and weaponry. Gunning for open world supply drops will always be a good idea. And finally, each survivor has their own survivor score, which is visible in the top left of your screen. This will determine the loot quality you can find in the world and the difficulty of the Blood Moon hordes. So speedrunning survivor levels may not always be the best option for survival here. The mod definitely gives players a unique experience, but I can't help but think to myself of how many ways it could be so much better. There's no unique items, structures or anything like that, and a lack of enemies to face, etc, etc. I do feel like there's so much potential with this mod, but as far as I'm aware, this mod is not receiving any more updates or has even been updated once since it released way back when in March 2024, which is a big shame and a huge missed opportunity. However, with all that being said, I did play this for a good amount of hours when it first released, and I must admit I had a right blast. But the biggest issue with this mod is that it doesn't receive any updates, and I don't believe it's even compatible with any other mods. None at all, which is pretty silly. It is fun for a short amount of time, but it does lack replayability due to this. Up next is Valiant Row Halloween Plus, which comes from Geisha420. Apologies for no doubt butchering that name. This is another banging free cosmetic mod that brings unique decorations, themed items, collectibles, and powerful event rewards. From eerie pumpkins to cursed powers, this mod transforms your world into a haunting celebration full of tricks and treats. So it is the perfect mod for Halloween and decorating your base. I am absolutely loving the variety of pumpkins in this mod, ranging from tiny little itsy bitsy pumpkins to giant base-sized pumpkins, with variants lit up with red and green hues to give that spooky atmospheric feel, especially being as they seem to give off clouds of smoke. It is really cool. It also seems that most structures can be used as vaults, as they all have 420 slots of item storage too. The mod adds other interesting and unique structures which really impressed me, like this placeable castle, which is absolutely massive, which works the same way as the MSVV Halloween Witch's Hut, where you can place regular structures like the smithy straight onto the floor, and many other placeable structures from the mod. Adding to that, there is a prefab wooden hut that works the same way. I could see these being great for roleplay stuff, if that is even a thing anymore in ARK. It is safe to say that this zombie dodo is having a right blast, and you might well be too if you're in need of some decorative items for your haunted themed base and decide to install this mod. In at number 5 is Undead Dinos, which comes from the Real Bob. This one is a simple, straightforward, custom cosmetic free mod, which will reskin your tamed creatures to give them that undead, zombified, battered and bloody appearance, with some scary glowy eyes. The mod description does state that this one can be used on official servers. Short and sweet for this one, but it does add to the atmosphere of a horror-themed build, when all your creatures look like they are dressed up for the occasion too. In at number 4 is Lanthanum's Blood Moon Contagion from Lanthanum, which is a mod that adds a zombie dino virus and Blood Moon mechanic to your game. This one is very similar to Survive the Night, however it does feel much more refined, and can be used on any map as far as I'm aware. Plus, unlike Survive the Night, it is completely free. The mod will add a variety of zombie creatures spawning throughout your world, which are highly aggressive and aim to destroy any life that is not already dead, even attacking their own kind to infect and multiply in numbers. They do hit much harder than their vanilla counterparts and can even explode to deal massive damage, which even damages structures. I must admit I was struggling to find any information about this mod. It does state in the mod description that it is a work in progress, but other than that there's not a lot of info about it. An important thing to note is that once you start up your game, if playing single player or on a server where you have admin access, you can press and hold the reload button, which will give you access to the in-game settings for the mod. It gives you a brief description of the mod and many other options to choose from, including a game settings tab where you can alter alter and manipulate the blood moons and how they work, making them easier or more difficult if you choose to do so to cater to your liking. Speaking of the blood moon, it can occur by chance and works very similar to Survive the Night's blood moon, where waves of zombie creatures will attack the player until daylight. It can be a lot of fun, especially when whacking up the difficulty and playing with some friends. Fingers crossed the mod keeps receiving updates, as there is a lot of potential with this one. But if you did want to see the mod in full effect, I highly recommend checking out Granty's video, where he fends off the zombie horde for 100 days. In the number 3, we have the Spooky Fog Machines from Sandy00. This is a simple yet very effective free mod that you can pair with any of these mods on the list to give any base the perfect spooky vibe. All you need to do is craft yourself a bunch of these fog lanterns. Place down in a location that you want to spook up. Be sure that the lantern is powered via a generator. Turn it on and watch the magic happen. The fog lantern does actually cover quite a large area, but you can place more down if you're looking to cover a giant space. Sadly, I don't think you can change the color of the fog, as I did try painting the lantern different colors to no avail. When placing down the fog lantern, you'll have the option to cycle over to the ghost lantern, which is perfect for any haunted house build. Moving into number 2, we're beginning to see the higher quality of premium horror mods. And taking the number 2 spot is the Rising Horde Freemium, which also comes from Sandy, which will set you back a small sum of $5 US. Experience a unique blend of ARK's gameplay with this zombie mod. The survival mechanics we know so well are intensified by the challenge of battling relentless hordes of zombies. This one is a huge upgrade to his free zombie spawner horde mod. This one introduces a lot of new features to keep gameplay immersive and exciting, including a bunch of new structures, where most have the same function to vanilla crafting stations. For example, the tech transmitter, industrial cooker, refrigerator, storage containers, and so on and so forth. Not forgetting you'll be needing plenty of steel gates and sandbags to keep out those deadly threats. The mod also adds many new weapons, tools, consumable items that will aid you in taking down the zombie horde, and also fills your world with a variety of new creatures and different variants. Ghoul variants can be found roaming commonly around the map. These can all be tamed as far as I know, and don't seem to have any obvious stat changes as opposed to their vanilla counterparts. More creatures include a larger version of the Hyenodon known as Ghoulie, which can be tamed, and yes, it can also be ridden. I must admit, riding on the back of a hyena is something I never knew I needed in ARK, but hey, here I am, loving life. Dover the Undying is a zombie version of wild dogs. They kind of replace the direwolf, hit very hard, and share the same packed bonuses and are much stronger. Lightening the mood, we have Father Christmas ready to throw some rights and some lefts. You definitely wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. And finally, of course, zombies have taken over the world and spawn all over the place, coming in all shapes and sizes and different variants, some stronger, some weaker, and some smarter than others, while some act as roaming world mini-bosses too, so there is plenty of dangerous threats to face while out exploring. Speaking of smarter and stronger, after gathering all those spooky horror-themed resources from the mod and have amassed a good amount, you can then craft yourself zombie spawners for a variety of different zombies, and also mini-bosses, which will summon them onto the map wherever you place it, where they will also be accompanied by a horde of zombies. And this offers survivors the ultimate challenge, loot, and rewards if you are able to take these freaks of nature down. And taking the number 1 spot is none other than Randy's Halloween mod from Randy Beers. I did a full showcase video on this one last year, and I had a lot of positive things to say about it. For me, it is the ultimate Halloween themed mod, which is a premium mod that will set you back a sum of $5 US. Randy has also been consistently updating the mod and added many more new features since releasing it last Halloween. The mod adds an array of Halloween themed decorative items and furniture that you can utilize in creating that perfect haunted set, including candles, a wide selection of pumpkins, a wide selection of gravestones, Halloween spiderwebs, which are very satisfying to place around your base, I must say, a wide variety of haunted paintings, a haunted bookshelf, which also looks very cool, and many other functional furniture too, like tables, chairs, cabinets, beds, and sofas, just in case you feel the need to put your feet up after a long, hard day out exploring the ARK. And finally, we have a mod that adds some cool cosmetics for structures, where you can reskin walls, ceilings, foundations, and all that jazz, just to give your base that ultimate haunted vibe. More items include pumpkin grenades, which are super fun to use, and a rat fog maker, which works similar to the fog lanterns from Sandy's spooky fog machines. Hide your crafting stations better get out of sight with these cover skins. Pumpkin crops can also be grown, which are used in many crafting recipes. The mod also adds many of its own Halloween themed creatures, which includes numerous skeleton variants, which are found all over the map, armed to the teeth with different types of of weaponry, which you can kill for skeleton bones and even their weapons. The Wild Hut. Yes, it has legs and you can live inside it if you wanted to. Not a lot of room in there, but it's cool, right? The Jack-o'-lantern is a peculiar creature to say the least, or maybe it's just freaky. Either way, it will make for a great shoulder companion when out exploring. Well, I mean, not really a shoulder pet, but you get the idea. Moving on to some new creatures since my review, we have the giant Halloween spider, which kind of feels like riding a broodmother. Not that I really know what that feels like, but these things are absolute beasts. All these creatures are tameable and will make for great additions to any Halloween party. There's really no better feeling than your skeleton bodyguards holding your hand while out and about. Along with those creatures, a weaker version of Morgana Blackthorn can also be found roaming the land. Still very tanky and dishes out some relatively strong attacks, but can be killed for a cheeky pumpkin loot crate that rewards us with some high quality tasty loot. While on the subject of Morgana Blackthorn, she is the main boss of the mod, which can be summoned after crafting yourself a summoning altar and placing it down. With 3 difficulties to choose from, Gamma, Beta and Alpha, she is a very challenging boss, having a giant health pool and devastating attacks. She likes to use your own assets against you. So for example, bring Rexes to the fight, she will spawn Alpha Rexes as bodyguards. Bring Wyverns or Flyers, then you will face Alpha Wyverns. Bring Gigas or Carkers, you will face Bone Gigas. She does, however, take more damage from pumpkin weaponry. So if you have a good shot and can set up a cannon and have a good supply of pumpkin cannonballs, then you might be on to a winner. Rising Horde and Randy's Halloween mod are probably 2 of my favorite mods I've actually spent money on in this game. Both offer unique and fun experiences and a lot of content to enjoy for a small price. And that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to like, comment, share around and subscribe for more. And well, if you made it this far into the video, you are an absolute legend and have reached my hidden giveaway, where I will be giving away 2 free codes to the MSVV Halloween Premium mod via my Discord server. So if that mod tickled your fancy, get on over to my Discord and react to this post with a heart emoji, which you'll find in the server announcements section, and I'll announce the winners in the next few days. Link will be in the description of the video. Hope you're all having a great week, and I'll catch you on the next one, where I'll be checking out my second favorite event of the year. Yes, Fear Ascended is finally here. Take care. Goodbye.